to the cloud. Awesome. First of all, actually, let me give like a huge shout out. I don't see Brittany on here just yet, but I want to say thank you to everybody who helped out last week. To Neil and Alicia and Elika, like all of them like stepped right in like last minute. I didn't even really ask them. I was just going to cancel Warrior Hour for the week, and they were like, nope, we've got this covered. Go ahead, take your little vacation, and we'll continue Warrior Hour. And so I really, I have not had a chance to go back and listen to the recordings yet, but I'm sure that you guys had amazing talks, and I'm sure that there was some really cool stuff that happened last week. And so hopefully once I get settled in, maybe even like while I'm unpacking, I'll just pop my headphones on and like listen to the recordings or something like that. And I have to get those all uploaded to YouTube as well, but just bear with me, you guys. I'm just holding on, all right? I'm surviving, but I'm not quite thriving, right? Like we've kind of talked about that before. I'm more survival mode right now. Like I can get a workout in, I can shake a shake in a freaking water bottle and chug it. I can come to, the Warrior Hour today, but thriving wise, I'm not doing anything above and beyond anything. Right? And I'm totally okay with that, because I know as soon as I get settled into my house, as soon as things start coming back up, I'm going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to be right back on track. And I think sometimes we get so in our heads when something's not going, when we're not thriving and we're just surviving, and we start to get really down on ourselves, right? We start to be like, oh my God, I should be doing this. I was doing this last week. I should be doing this. And in reality, what should you be doing? I think that we place those on ourselves, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary pressure on ourselves when you're going through a transition period or something is a little bit harder, right? Like I think surviving sometimes is okay as long as you have a plan to thrive again, right? Like I know in a week or two, I will be thriving. I will be right back on track. We will be back in another challenge, and things will be rocking and rolling. So while I'm surviving right now, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to talk crap to myself. I'm not going to talk down to myself. I'm just going to say, all right, you're in transition period. Do what you can and be happy with that. And know that in a few weeks, you're going to be right back on track. Right? And instead of digging yourself into a hole and continuously talking crap to yourself just because you're not full on, because that's only going to put you further down, and then you're going to have to pull yourself even further out. I'm just going to say and give myself a little grace right now, right? I'm just going to say it's okay. It's totally fine, Jen. Hey, you got a workout in yesterday. Congratulations. Just be a little kinder to yourself. And I think that's where this whole today's meeting is going to lead up to, is how to be kinder to yourself on all levels. And so that's what I really want to talk to you guys about today, because I had 3 separate instances happen last week to me that made me so sad. So sad. So I'm going to tell you the 3 specific situations that happened to me, and I just really would like to talk to you guys about them and just really help us see what negative self-talk does. Okay.
And Jenny,
Yeah.
Hey, it's Nicole. I'm out here on my walk. So I'm trying to get everything in. But hey, I wanted to tell you, you are thriving in a completely different way. Honey, you are on your honeymoon. You're thriving. Don't forget that. It's just in a different way. So you've got to enjoy that. So that's where you're thriving at.
I love that. I love that. Oh, hi, Bob. You guys will still look, all the girls are waving at you. Oh, we got hearts. He loves his heart.
If you guys know me, this is not our honeymoon.
Why would you say that?
We'll do something. I was sick.
Okay, I didn't say anything. They didn't know that.
I've been throwing up. I've been sick. I've only been healthy for 2 days. Mike was near death for 7 days. That's why Jenny had to come up here by herself.
Yeah, so I haven't even had a chance to tell him anything.
Yeah. Mike had 104.7 fever.
Yeah.
Sitting in a hotel room for 5 days by himself. So
So
thank you for the gift, ladies, but I've got to make this up to her.
so yeah, I guess let me backtrack like way to last week. So Mike was in Orlando. I was still packing everything up. Mike had worked too hard for too long in the sun with boots and jeans on, and was probably this close to suffering a heat stroke. Had severe heat exhaustion, which is basically the same symptoms as COVID as well. So if you guys, so it's been an interesting 2 weeks. I haven't really said anything because he had to go get tested. He had to go to the emergency room. I was like, oh my God, you traveled up there, you got COVID. I was like, da, da, da. And come to find out he was negative for COVID, but had severe heat exhaustion and was like,
Well, no, they did say it was a heat stroke.
like a, yeah.
It was a
full,
heat.
is it?
I
don't know.
It was a full blown heat stroke to where I actually started having organ failure, and I actually messed up. Here's something that you should check on. So for my whole life, you know, when you go into the stores and you get those little mini packets of Tylenol, well, usually I thought that the packet together was a total of 500 milligrams. It was 1,000. I was taking 6 packs a day. I was probably taking over 15 to 20,000 milligrams of Tylenol, which then caused fluid in my lungs.
I can't show my
mind
face.
mind you, I'm by myself. One day I had 10 bottles of Pedialyte, and it wasn't working. I was fighting it all, and I still went to work, and still went like a silly. So tell your guys out there, if they think they're, you know, a badass, it's not worth it, man. Yeah, it wasn't really worth it, because then I looked at her and was like, I can't even drive. I can't see in front of my face.
Which is why I had to pack everything. So that's what led up to, so Mike was like literally in the hotel room and in and out of the emergency little check-in. And so I had to pack everything up because he couldn't even drive down to the Keys. So I was like, screw this, I'll get that truck. I'll load everything up in this baby. I'm coming to you.
And then the day that I did start to try to feel better, we waited one more day, and we went, and within 30 minutes, my temperature went up to a 103 immediately.
Yeah,
I mean, my brain was
spiking.
It was spiking. I was getting delirious. Okay. I went to the bathroom. I went to go pee, and my pee went to the bottom of the toilet, and the rest of the water was clear, and the rest, I was like, what the hell is that? Like, it was not good. I was actually, the lady said that if I would have kept pushing it, that I could have done brain damage. And actually, I've been given protocol for the next few months on how I keep my temperature and my internal temperature, because I could still do some damage to my brain. Because 4 days, I didn't tell Jenny, you know, I was like, my temperature's bad, but it was at 104.7. I couldn't get it to go down. I was waking up in the middle of the night, pouring sweat, but my temperature was 98 degrees. Like, I was dripping. I had to have the sheets done. It was hell. So
I had to.
She did everything.
Not only did I load everything into the truck by myself, but
She
then
unloaded it.
We got it here, and I unloaded it all into a storage unit.
And none of that would be possible without Beachbody, Shakeology, Energize. Thank you to all my sponsors.
So Mike didn't start feeling better. Let's see, we got up here
2 days ago.
Sunday. I would say, like, gosh, what's today? Today's Monday. Like Thursday, Friday, we kind of started to
I didn't throw up.
like,
I didn't have a
just
headache. I wasn't dizzy.
Yeah.
I mean, ladies, you don't understand. It was, and here's the weird part is we're in the Keys where you can feel the heat, and I usually can gauge myself, and I will go, and I'm going to tell you, like, no, you guys always are really big on knowing your body. Okay. I know my body really well, but then I switched a climate, and I switched to somewhere where you don't feel the heat because it's a lot of swampy area. And I was like, Jen, I don't understand. Something's wrong. And she's like, what do you mean? I go, I can't last more than 15 minutes. My body is shutting down. And I was going into the air conditioning, getting my body temperature down to a
one extreme to the other.
comfortable 69 degrees. And then I would go back out, and ladies, I'm not bragging, but I'm a really hard worker, and I take very good pride in this, that I can outwork anybody around, and I'll work longer and harder. And I just didn't understand. It was getting worse. And it all started with 232 ounces of water, a double shot of Energize Hydrate, which I thought was going to work. And then I said, well, I need more energy. So I took more Energize, and I did myself really bad. I mean, I got heat exhaustion on Monday. I had a heat stroke on Tuesday, and I worked until Friday every day. And it just isn't worth it. And then it just is hot. You got to really pay attention to when you do go to different places that you may not feel it on your skin. You just need to think about what's going on in the inside. Tell your husbands, take some time right now. It's really hot out. You're not proving anybody right. You're not doing any justice to yourself.
Yeah.
Now I will say this: I did drop down to a record low of 159.
Oh my God.
I looked so sick. It was so bad. But when she got here the first 4 or 5 days, it wasn't like
I was
told her,
like,
I said, I'm
we're
sorry
fixing
that
you
we
up.
have to do our honeymoon like this, but I'll make it up to you. So yeah, I've been
It's
sick
all
the last few days. So enjoy
It's all
that.
right. So that's kind of like the catch up as to why I had to actually pack everything by myself. And the only reason I didn't say it originally is because we were still waiting for his COVID test at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you got COVID. Like, I was like, you got it. I thought for sure. And then when it came back negative and come to find out that it was because of the heat and stuff like that, it was just such a
Ladies, I was
mess.
going through this mental thing like, am I bringing my family to the right location? Jeez, oh my God, what am I doing? Because, we've been wearing masks mandatory in the Keys since February. And we understand that it's not necessarily for us, it's for everyone else. It's for the compromised, and that this COVID thing is serious. And it made me really, there were some days I was sick and I was on the internet and people were joking about not wearing masks. And I'm like, you take this political crap, toss it to the side. This sickness is real. People up here don't care. I just went right now to turn in a red box, and the lady, even though she had her yoga mat, okay, which means she does exercise, she's going into the market with her 2 kids with no masks on. And she goes, I wonder how we get in there. I go, with a mask. With a mask. Put a mask on, people. Wear it. It's not for you. It's for other people. And I was so scared. I was like, Jesus, I come up here for 1 week, catch it, and I couldn't figure out where I had caught it. The people I'd been around, but thank God it came back negative. And all of the situation.
That was kind of funny because like I read a meme like right around that time, and it was like, so is everything COVID or can you still get the regular flu still? And I was like, that's how I feel right now. Like I just feel like I instantly when he was having symptoms and a fever, I was like, oh my God, you have COVID. Like,
but I could still smell farts and I could still taste the toothpaste. So I was cool, man. I knew I was all right. Ladies, have a good one.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, hurry up. We got to move.
Yes, we get our keys today. Don't worry. But I got big things to talk about. We got to talk about them.
Talk good about yourselves. No matter your situation,
He knows where I'm going.
no matter what you're looking at, if I can't tell you this more than she's ever going to tell you, it is so important on what you put into your brain. I swear to God, the moment that you wake up, you need to look at a sign or tell yourself and say, I am fucking beautiful, and then put on that beautiful dress or those beautiful clothes and start your day off right. Because if you don't, the moment that you doubt yourself, it's hurtful to people that actually see it. I've seen it with Jenny, the situation she's going to tell you about. And I'll be honest, I'm the one that actually mentioned it to her. I'm the one that kept getting to her and saying, why is this girl doing this? Why? And it's because one thing Jenny can never say about me is that I am so mentally strong. I am so control of my brain. I think Becca right now is watching the same thing. Becky, she's watching David Goggins. And that is one of the realest guys in the world to teach you how to control your brain. And it's so important, ladies, because the smile you put back at us shouldn't just be fake. It should be coming from within. And you should really, really convince yourself every day, no matter what, no matter how shitty the day is, you're still beautiful. You're still amazing. You're still loved. You're still cared. I know everyone's seen that movie where she teaches that little girl, you are kind, you are beautiful,
What the hell?
and you are loved. That wasn't just something, I get chills from saying it. It's because you need to tell yourself that every day. Because this world is evil. This world is cruel. And this world will eat you up and spit you out and not give two shits about you. So you need to defend yourself with all the beauty and pride that you have. And I know that you have it because you're on here every morning. You're doing the work, and that is beautiful. Okay? Please, it means so much to me. I hate to think any girl out there doesn't think anything else. It hurts my feelings, and I want to change it, and I'm glad that my wife is changing it. So I'm like trying to grab girl. I'm like, yo, when I the other day at the wake park, I'm like, hey, you should join up with my fiance. Who cares about all the shakes and stuff like that in the workouts? You need the girl gang. These girls are amazing.
He's
Like,
my best
I
advertisement.
sell you girls all the time. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so jealous. So jealous. Like, we should start doing like, you have to have your husband do a mic hour or something like that. Like, you girls are doing amazing. Keep spreading the love. Know that you're beautiful. I'm out.
Are you
Sorry.
really out?
Yeah, energized. Energized with an extra espresso shot. I'm healthy, so I can have espresso now.
I can't take this guy. He's so funny. Okay, so on to what I was going to talk about. So I'm going to actually tell one story before I get to the story that most of you guys know, because this is kind of the way it happened for me and the way it was exposed to me, and you'll understand by the end of the story. So in the beginning, like I said, I had to unpack everything. Well, Mike has a buddy up here. His name's Wayne, and he did come over to the storage unit to help me carry some of the bigger items into the storage unit when we got up here. Okay, he's a great guy, very nice, very personable, and he said something several times to me that made me cringe, and I was like, man, why does he keep saying that? And so he's a big guy, right? Like, I would say 300 pounds. He's a big guy. I could probably tell you that he has not always been that big, because it's a new thing. It's a newer thing for him, probably within the last 10 years or so. He's probably gotten to that extent. He consistently joked about himself being the fat guy. And I was like, why do you keep saying that? Like, it just literally was like, why? Like, I didn't say anything when he did it, but I just was like, that's interesting that you would consistently refer to yourself as the fat guy. Like it's a joke, right? And I'm sitting there, and Mike and I start talking about it later on, and I'm like, it's not funny. I don't laugh. I don't laugh when you call yourself the fat guy, because I know you're only doing that as a cover-up, as a way to use it as an excuse, right? Because he was trying to say, oh, you got to give the fat guy a little bit more time, or, oh, the fat guy's got to take a little bit of a break. And I was like, man, why do you keep referring to yourself like that, right? Even if it is a joke, even if he's a very personal person, very confident if you meet him, right? Very confident, very boisterous, will talk to anybody, conversation will flow. But there's this underlying message of he's the fat guy. And I'm just like, man, that sounds really weird to me. I didn't say anything. I knew I didn't feel right about it, but I didn't say anything, okay? So that was the first thing that happened to me last weekend. Then online, I'm sure most of you guys kind of heard, I have a friend who also, let me give you guys the background on my relationship with this girl. So if you don't already know, I kind of gotten on Trisha last week for calling herself Busted Biscuits. Okay. She was looking for shapewear originally. So she did a post about shapewear, which you guys, I have no problem with shapewear. I get it. Like, smooth that shit out, right? Like, you're wearing a dress, it's tight. Like, you need things to be like shaped and smoothed out. But when it's to cover yourself because you called yourself Busted Biscuits, I'm no longer okay with it. Okay? I am no longer okay with that. And that was the second time I had heard her call herself that. Okay? And now let me give you a little background on how I know Trisha. I've known her since I was 9 years old. We used to cheer together. We used to be competitive together. In high school, I watched her become a fitness, she used to do fitness expos. I watched her pass out in high school because she was like literally trying to like shred so much weight and become like trying to like pop her muscles because her competition was like that weekend or something. I watched her pass out in school because she was so serious about trying to like lose this weight and stuff. I played volleyball with her, played basketball with her. I've known her pretty much for like over 20 some years, you know? And I've also coached her. She's been on my challenges. She has talked to me several times about becoming a coach. Okay? And she decided not to. She decided not to be a coach. She decided to no longer be a challenger with me. That's totally fine. I was okay with it. We're still friends. I was still friends with her. Every time I go to Ohio, I go see her and her kids. Like, our kids were born 6 months apart. Her oldest and Derek are 6 months apart. We have been friends for years, and we've always been competitive, and we've always been very honest with each other too. And so I click into this post. First of all, I'm reading it and I'm like, man, like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, why did you say that about yourself? I was like, man, feel like not on my watch. Are you going to call yourself that? And then I start clicking into the post and I start reading all of the enabling. The let's almost like negativity was feeding on negativity, right? So then it was like, oh yeah, well you don't look like I do, and blah blah blah, and I've got roles, and it was like, who had the worst, right? It was like a competition for who could talk the worst about themselves. Okay, I'm not saying Trisha doesn't have confidence. Trisha has an amazing confidence. You ever meet her, she's personable. She could talk to anybody. She has a great personality. She is a confident person. She was using herself as the brunt of a joke. And I don't ever think that's okay, because I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny at all. And I was pissed, actually. Granted, I did start my period that morning, so I was a little extra feisty. And I think Mike kind of riled me up a little bit too, because he was like, why is she saying that? And we were talking about it, and he goes, I don't think that's funny. And I was like, right? It's not funny. And like, we kind of were like talking about, I was like, I'm going to say something.
I told you, I said,
I was like,
you're going to be a savage.
Yeah, he told me I had to be a savage. He's like, you're a savage.
Teach her how to be a savage, and it's not working out.
But I just, honestly, you guys, I was like, this is not the Trisha I know. This is not the Trisha I know. The Trisha I know worked really freaking hard for everything she has. The Trisha I know would never talk to herself that way. And I wasn't going to allow it on my watch. I'm a health coach, you guys. Mike even made, he goes, it would be like you dishonoring what you do by letting that happen. By continuing to sit there and encourage it, or to support it, or to not say anything, right? It's almost like speaking up when you see injustice in racism or something. It's like, to me, it's the same thing. When you are not speaking up over somebody doing something negative, we're doing a disservice to ourselves, to our environment, and to our society. Because here's the thing, she's got 5 kids. What are we passing? What are we passing down? Is her little girl going to start calling herself Busted Biscuits now? How do you feel about that? Because here's what happened to me after. So actually, so I got into a lot of people got blocked that day on my social media because there were some people that made some really nasty comments to me for what I said to her. And I will actually reread what I even said to her. I would read it because I honestly I reread it a couple of times and had to re-ask myself, like, did I go too far? Then I was like, no, I really don't feel like I went too far. I actually feel like I said exactly what I wanted to say. Okay, so she was saying, like, what are her other options for shapewear? Because certain ones do this and certain ones do this. She doesn't want to have like lines or cut out from her legs. And I was like, Trisha, what are your other options? I was like, work out, eat healthier, take care of your body rather than trying to cover it up, tuck it in, or shove it into something that's not made to be in. I was like, come on, Trisha. I was like, you're so much better than this whole Busted Biscuits talk. And if I have to be the one to say it, then fine. And you'll probably be pissed at me that I am, but I'm okay with that because I care about you and your health. But you're capable of doing so much more for yourself. I know you. Stop accepting mediocre. I'm not saying you need rock hard abs, and I don't even need you to join me in what I do, but I need you to take this is probably where I went a little too far, but I was like, but you need to take a hard look in the fucking mirror and respect yourself more. I refuse to let you talk about yourself like this anymore. It was not okay with me. It was not okay with me that she was calling herself that and accepting that that was her body when I know she's capable of so much more. Because the Trisha I know, I've known her since I was 9 years old. She was my first girl fight. She was my first fight. Like, we got in a fight at the age of 9. That's how we met, at a fight behind the high school, like at a high school football game. We got in a fight. Like, that's the Trisha I know. She's a freaking savage. And if you know her, you know what I'm talking about. So this whole talk of her accepting this BS as her life, it was not okay with me. And I was like done listening to it. And I hope next time she goes to say it, I hope my name is right there next to it. I hope my name rings really loud in her ear when she starts to talk about it again. And I'm totally okay with that. I had to block a lot of people because a lot of people didn't like what I said, but I'm totally fine with that. If all I had to say was that one thing to get rid of those people, peace out. Peace out, because you're just as bad. How dare you allow your friend to talk to herself like this? Somebody said, oh, would you say this in person to her? I would have rather said it in person to her. I would have rather looked her in the eyes and said, don't ever fucking talk like that again to yourself. Like, what are you trying to do? Hey, stop. And so it just, to me, it was not funny. It was not funny, and it was not okay. And it wasn't happening on my watch. And I actually messaged Trisha and I said, hey, listen, like, we talked, we were cool. It was fine. She was like, hope you didn't get too many like bad messages. I was like, oh, fuck them. I don't care. Like, I really don't care about the people that didn't get it, because all I wanted was Trisha to get it. And honestly, I just wanted it to sting a little bit. That was really part of it, was this is going to sting a little bit. But in order for you to rise back up to where you're supposed to be, you can't be talking about yourself like this. It's not an option, you guys. It's not an option. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Guess what happened? 2 days ago, I was standing at the wake park here in Orlando. I was with Derek and Mike, and Derek was playing with his other family's little boy. They're about the same age. And so I was going over and I was talking to the mom, what's your son's name and stuff like that. And they had another daughter. She was 11. And she said something. We were talking about something. I can't remember how it came up. And the 11-year-old goes, "Oh no, I'm too fat for that." And I looked at her and I was like, "What?" She's like this string bean, you know, she had a sweater on. So I don't know why she had a sweater on, but probably because she thinks she's fat, right? She had a sweater on in 90-degree weather in Orlando. Like, why would you have a sweater on? Oh, because you really do think you're fat. But here's the thing. So I looked at her and I said, "Why would you say that? Why would you say that?" She goes, "Oh, it was just a joke." I go, "It's never a joke. If it is a joke at your own expense, if you are the brunt of your own joke, it's not funny." And I got real serious with her and I stepped real close to her and I said, "I don't want to ever hear you say that about yourself ever again." I was like, "I just got on a 30-year-old woman for doing something like this. You're 11. I was like, "I don't ever want to hear you say that ever again. And you don't even know me." I go, "But I'll find out if you ever say it again." I was like, "I don't ever want to hear you talk about yourself that way. Ever. If you have to be the brunt of your own joke, it's not funny." I even messaged Trisha and she goes, "You know, it's just supposed to be funny." I go, "Trisha, you're hilarious. You are a hilarious woman. Why did you feel the need to use yourself as a joke? Why? Why? You don't take yourself seriously? Is that why you didn't come coach with me and you ended up selling makeup and eyelashes? I don't know. Because maybe you didn't think you could do coaching. So you went with the safe route. I don't know. But I can assume, or I can view from the outside and look at it, what's going on. And maybe I need to step up and say something, the thing that nobody else is freaking saying, and everybody else is just letting it happen, you know? And so that's where I was like, man, for us as coaches, it's our job to speak up. It's our job to say, "That ain't happening on my watch. I'm not allowing you to talk about yourself that way." Yes, maybe you do have some roles because you had 5 kids. You had twins in the middle. Yes, you probably do look a little different than you used to. That's okay. I get it. You want the shapewear. That's fine. I get it. But it ain't because you're calling yourself busted biscuits or fat. Okay? So it gets me really worked up. Like I get really emotional about it because it breaks my heart thinking that we accept things like that. We allow things like that. We allow our friends to say things about themselves. And then instead of hurting her feelings by telling her to shut up, we agree with her. We enable it. We talk bad about ourselves to try to even it out. We try to one up to say, "Oh, your roles aren't anything like my roles." It's not a comparison game. And it's not a game you want to win at. I'm gonna shut this door. It's not a game worth winning. Okay? And if I have to step up and be the hated one in my community for a few days, my community as an upper, because I got a lot of crap from people from upper. How dare could I say that and all this stuff? Well, you know what? I'm okay with saying it, is if next time she thinks twice before doing it again. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't. But I wasn't going to let it happen on my watch. And I would love if you guys did that too. If you guys stopped for just a second when somebody talked shit about themselves, you stopped them and you said, "Don't talk about yourself like that around me. I refuse to listen to you talk about yourself that way. Not on my watch. Not up in here." Okay? Not up in here. It ain't happening. Carly, I saw you get that. Not up in here. Like, for real, you guys, it breaks my heart thinking of those 3 stories I just told you. That happened in 1 week. 3 separate people used themselves as the brunt of their own joke about their weight. It was all the same thing about being fat. And you know what? Later, next time I see Wayne, I'm going to talk to him about what he's eating. I'm going to talk to him about the way he's talking. And next time I see Prisha post something, I'm going to tell her she's beautiful. I'm going to tell her she looks gorgeous. Next time I see that little girl, I'm going to tell her she's gorgeous. I'm going to tell her to take that freaking sweater off. It's hot as hell. Right? Like, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Because I got a little video, it's just like a little 5-minute video. But you guys, you are what you think. Even if you think, and then if you're joking about it, you think you're a joke. That's what it is. So if you're joking, so maybe you don't necessarily, like Trisha tried to justify, like, oh no, I don't, I have great confidence, I have great confidence, but you think you're a joke. That's what it comes down to. You think you're a joke. You don't take yourself very seriously. Why not? Why not? I take myself very fucking serious. I still joke. I still have a great sense of humor. I have, you know, I can laugh, but not at my own expense. I take myself seriously. Where I'm going, what I'm doing, my passion, my purpose, my success is all because I take myself seriously. I'm not a joke. And I'm not here to joke about myself at my own expense. Because all that says to the people around you, that you don't take yourself seriously. Now, I'm not saying like, you know, I was walking and I tripped and I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm kind of clumsy. You know, I have been my whole life, little silly. You know, that's so different than like using yourself as your own punchline. There's so many other jokes. There's so many other ways to show your sense of humor and to be funny. And using yourself and your weight is not a place to do it. Because when you're alone, you're staring at yourself naked in the mirror before you jump in that shower, how do you really feel? How do you really feel when you're standing alone, staring in that mirror after you just called yourself busted biscuits? I bet she didn't say, God, I look beautiful. Doubt it. I really doubt it. You know? And so when I get a little worked up over something, or some people end up unfriending me because of something I said, that's okay. I'm not for everybody. Not everybody can take the tough love. I've learned that. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it. And that doesn't mean, and the more that I am myself too, and I speak up when I feel necessary, I instantly saw Becky post in her challenge, or in Carrie's challenge group, about these girls need to step it up. These girls need to be posting. These girls need to be on point. Why aren't you posting? What? And I saw her go, boom, get a little tough love. I saw somebody else do like a little tough love post too, and I was like, yeah. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, mind you, ladies, at the same time, I'm going to tell you a little secret. She was over here beating herself up, ruining everyone's day, and being.
I did not ruin everyone's day.
She admitted it. I'm not going to sit here.
I said I was having a hard time letting it go.
She took.
I was worked up.
She was upset. She felt she had done the wrong thing. And you want to know what I kept saying? I said, look at what Becky's doing. Look at how your girls responded. You need to not regret. Once you're a fucking savage, there ain't no going back. Once you get to a level on that, you cannot go back. You cannot regret what you stand for, because what you stand for is the only legs that you have. Your foundation is fucked. Rebuild it. Get strong. Believe in what you're saying, because like I told her, you cannot. If you go back, if you don't say something, you're not doing your job, anything. If you go back and you start to feel bad, and don't get me wrong, you know, the whole, it was that time of the month, she was upset, it was female on female. Throw all that shit out of the window, okay? Women have been dealing with it for 400 years. This is serious. Once you make that commitment to tell someone to help themselves, no matter how you say it, no matter how you say it, stick with your guts. Otherwise, you're just another fake. It's the story of crying wolf. It's the same thing. You can't sit there and try to help, and then regret it. You sat here and beat yourself up, and I go, "Here, what are you doing?"
Well, I just
Actually,
second
it's
guessed
not
myself.
attractive. I was like, "Ugh, what are you doing?" Get back into that savage mode.
Yeah.
You can't go back once you're a savage. So once you get to that level, it's awesome.
And it's so true. And I wasn't going to tell you guys that part, but
Well, we real. Savages are real.
but I did. I really I second guessed myself after I had done it. And I started getting a little response that was not so nice. I was like, man, should I have said that? Was that even worth it? Was that even necessary? Why did I even do that? Like, who do I think I am? Do I even have the balls? Like, I was like, who do I think I am? You know, that's like really what started to kind of come into my head a little bit. And I think that I have Mike, because he always keeps me just like in check. And he's like, just said it. You meant it. He goes, reread it. Do you still think that? And so I would reread it and I would be like, yeah, I still feel this way. I still feel like it shouldn't have been said. He goes, then you said the right thing. He was like, then you did it. And so I was just like, okay. And like, it was like, you know, but it was the first time I had ever really stepped up on somebody's random post and said, stop this shit. Like, this ain't happening. Not allowing it. You know? And so I really second guessed myself, but I needed that reassurance from Mike, and I needed that reassurance, like, even from you guys. Like, Alicia was like, no, she can handle it. That's right. Like, I was like, yeah, right? Like, I was just like, it. So you're going to second guess yourself sometimes when you step up and you're the different one.
In your rule.
Right? When I was not the one that said, oh, try these and da 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 da. When I was the one that said something different, I was outcasted. And that can be really hard to sit over there by yourself. Thankfully, I was not by myself. I had all of you guys, which was very nice, thankfully. Because it was funny, because as you guys were saying all these positive things, I was watching the comments on the post, and they were so opposite. What you guys were saying was positive, positive, positive. And then what she was saying, what everybody else was saying was negative, 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 negative. And I was like, that's the difference. Because also, every single one of those girls that commented or liked or whatever, all this stuff, they have all messaged me. They have all once asked for my help and have all quit. None of them were in my group. None of them are coaches with me. Maybe they don't like me. That's totally fine. But maybe they're cowards. Too. I don't know. Coward's probably wrong word, but like, maybe they don't have the strength either. Right? Like, it's hard being the one to speak up. It's very hard. My heart was pounding. I was having anxiety all day. I kept checking my phone to see who was going to message me or who was commenting back. And I was like, but it was because it was different. You know, it was something I would probably haven't ever done that I can remember. And I know that you guys would be like, wow, I don't know, maybe if I could ever do that, or if I would ever do that. But maybe there just might be the person on your timeline that you're looking at going, why are they saying that about themselves? And you just kept scrolling. What if you went back and you said, No, I'm not letting you talk about yourself like this. I'm not letting you say that. It's no longer allowed on my newsfeed, right? And so I want you to know it's okay to be the one to speak up. And for you guys to speak up, I have to speak up, right? It follows the chain. It follows the lead. When I give you guys permission in per se to say, hey, it ain't happening. Not on our watch. You want to joke about shit? Go somewhere else. You want to think you're a freaking joke? Go over here. Not up in here. That's right. It ain't happening. You guys, it ain't happening anymore. Okay? And so I got a 5-minute little Steve Harvey video that we're gonna watch, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. But you guys, there's so much that goes on with the words that we use about ourselves. The way we talk about ourselves, whether it's a joke or serious, says so much about you. And says so much about the success you have in your life, the things you have in your life, everything. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you act says everything. Okay? And so everything has to align. You can't say that you have impeccable confidence when you talk down about yourself. Because no, you don't. Because mentally, something in there still needs to change. Because if you were mentally confident, you would know that always does damage. Speaking those words does damage on so many different levels. Maybe not to herself, but maybe somebody else that read that. Right? Maybe somebody else that read that is now adopted that term and is calling herself busted biscuits. Why are we doing that? Why would you want to spread that? Why would you want somebody else to call themselves that too? Right? So I've thought about it a lot this week. It's been on my mind a lot this week. And I want to stand for something different. I want to be known as the girls that are out there calling themselves gorgeous. I want to be known as the ones that are out there, no matter what your body looks like, you guys, you don't have to have rock hard abs to call yourself gorgeous. You don't have to have, you don't have to have what I have. You don't have to have what she has or what he has. You just have to accept what you have and love all of it for all that it's done. Okay, while actively working to be better at all times as well, right? Because the moment you get mediocre, the moment you get stagnant, you're going backwards. And we know that. So if you're not moving forward, if you're not progressing, then you're losing momentum. And that right there, to me, lost her momentum. Or at least put a roadblock on some level that now she's going to have to overcome. When all she had to do was not say that. She could have said, hey, I'm looking for some shapewear. I'm wearing a dress, and I just want something to smooth out everything. How easy would that have been? But when you're using yourself as the brunt of the joke, it's not funny. Okay? And I want you guys to remember that, and I want you to take it to heart, and I never want you guys to use yourself as the brunt of the joke. Okay? And I want you to be able to recognize now when somebody else does. And I want to give you the courage and the strength to speak up and to say something and to stop them. You don't have to do it like I did. You could do it nicer if you wanted to, or in your own way. But I just want you guys to have the courage to speak up. Because what are we standing for if we're allowing women to talk about themselves that way? Right? What are we standing for? I think we stand for a lot more than that. Okay? But I need all of you guys as well. I mean, I will do it myself, with or without you guys. Okay. Mike. I'll talk to you in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And so What? Sorry, I'm reading this comment over here from Bethany.
Someone would have got their ass whooped at your wedding.
What?
What?
Somebody said she looked pregnant in her wedding dress. She just got married last weekend.
Somebody said that to her?
Yes.
They're not invited in your life.
Girl, I need names.
You need to exile them.
I'm coming after them, girl. I got sharp elbows. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with them.
No, I put them in their place.
Good,
'Cause
good.
I don't need you here if you're gonna be that way.
And
I
you
know
know,
that I look amazing. I don't need you here.
I wonder, had you not ever been doing this, how would you have taken that?
Oh, it would have broken me. It would have broken me. There were times like when I put it on that I was like, oh, is this like the appropriate dress? Like, is this okay? And then like that instant like voice was like, yes, because you feel good in it and you look great.
You looked beautiful.
Like,
Like
that, you know.
stunning. Oh,
So that little negative voice is getting a lot smaller,
Yeah.
through this for sure. That bigger, powerful voice that is like, no, you are doing amazing things every day is definitely taking the leadership role. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's probably not the first or the last time somebody is ever going to say something to you. And the and not that, people, it's a reflection of them is where I was trying to go with that. So like people will say things because it's a reflection of what they think about themselves, and they will project it onto other people so quickly like that. And it's almost, you know what I think? She needs us. Whoever it was that said this to you probably needs a group like this.
I've
tell her-
talked to her about us before and I've tried like, just come check it out. Come, like I'll send you the link one day. See if you like it. Like try it out. You try things all the time. Like what's different about this? Oh no, I don't. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fine. Like I'm like okay. I'll try again. But right now I'm gonna give you your time. So.
Oh, I can't believe she said that to you. I like literally saw your wedding pictures and cried. I mean, like, swear to God, like I like got so teary-eyed, like scrolling through all your messages. And to think that somebody would ever say that about somebody in their wedding dress, a moment that you want to remember forever. Like, I just could never imagine saying that to somebody. But it also so shows where she's at mentally, And when you can recognize things like that, you can be like, oh, I feel bad. I almost feel bad for you, right? Like I'm not gonna talk down to myself or believe what you're saying, but I'm gonna pray for you. That's what I think about it. It's like I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray that you get out of that mental state. And yeah, go ahead, Kristen. I think I saw your little hand up.
So I have a hard time when you say, does it look appropriate? And that is because there's a lot of things that I do in my life, tattoos, music, that people think aren't appropriate for, especially having a little one. And it's like, appropriate for who? Your life or mine? Because who's to decide what is normal? And so it's like, I just want to say this. So it's like, I always am worried about what I'm wearing when I'm going out and if it's appropriate for being a mom. And it's like, who cares? Like, you're not in my, half the people who are judging me aren't in my life because otherwise they would know me. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, that's just Kristen. So it's just, I hate that word appropriate. Like, I hate it. In general, I hate that word.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, like what, like, okay, this even happened to us yesterday. We got off the elevator. Like, I get it. I got dreads. Mike's got long hair. We're always like kind of in eccentric clothes. Derek's got his cap on sideways with long hair. And we like get off the elevator and we're like laughing. And there's like, I would assume grandparents with their two little grandchilds, probably 3 or 4, I would say. And like, I didn't even notice it. I was just like, talking with Derek, and Mike goes, whoa, did you see that? I was like,
oh, she literally,
no.
This lady, she stopped, and I'm big on this. I will call my motherfucker out. She stopped and she went,
Like,
I'll be like, what, I got a dick on my forehead or something? Like, I'll make it awkward as shit. I've had tattoos. I've been sleeved up for years. I'm ready for this stuff. Like,
but like, I didn't even see it. But like, you know, and then I kind of looked at us and I was like, well, I guess we are a lot different than what they looked like, right? Like, we look a lot different than them for sure. But does that mean that they belong here any more than we do? No.
green, baby.
No. And I think that's like where we just start to like second guess ourselves. And I love that, Kristen. Like, I love that you're like, screw it, man. This is who I am. And I'm not gonna change me for you. Who are you? Right? Like, and I'm not gonna second guess myself because you're different or because you think I'm different. Like, it ain't happening. Not up in here. I don't know how many times I have to say that today, but I hope later on today you guys quote that because you're gonna remember. Like, I know that we have to talk about this because I need you guys on this page. I need you guys to understand it ain't happening anymore. Right? We are not gonna talk crap about other people, and we are not going to let people talk crap about us, and we are not going to let people talk crap about themselves. It's not happening. If it's not positive, go home. Seriously. Not up in here. Not up in our house. Not in the Warrior house. All right? It ain't happening. And so, actually, Bethany, I'm really, really, proud of you for saying that, because I know that's not fun to even say. But I'm glad you did, because then you could feel the support and the like, what kind of factor from us, so it can validate what you said as well, and it can validate where you were at and say, right here, this is Bethany.
I'm not even looking to judge. I just want to know where I need to look on the screen. Just give me a thumbs up. Is it a friend or a family? Not no more. The one's close, straight up. Gotta get rid of them. Not no more. Family, people that care, people that love you and support you. None of these girls would have said no shit like that. That's
No, I think it's that, you know, she's seen me really grow, especially the last few months, but over the last few years, I've grown and I've gone through things that have made me grow and stand up for myself. And I'm younger than she is, and she was always able to kind of tell me what to do, or, you know, kind of, I'm the older one, so I know everything. And, you know, it was one of those where I'm like, I love the way my back looks. I've been a dancer my whole life, and that was always something that I was super proud of. And I knew when I got married that I wanted to show that off. And I found a dress that I was able to do it, and I felt good in. And, you know,
you did feel good in it, because look, you're smiling.
Right?
I know you felt good, because when you said you felt good, you smiled this like, you can't, it's not a fake smile. She's still smiling, like, congratulations.
I told my husband now, when I went for my first dress fitting, that I like came back from it when you're just like the tiny little tucks in, and I was like, I am gonna look so fucking good. And like, just watch it. I was like, oh my gosh, just like, I could not wait to see you because of how confident you were, you know, prior to. So I was like, okay, you go take care of you. I'm taking care of me. You can join me anytime, but can't help you if you don't want help right now. So
absolutely. And so then it almost even feels like maybe a little bit of like a jealousy factor. Sorry, I cry a lot, but I feel like it probably is a little bit of like a jealousy factor then. And she's like, come back down here. You know what I mean? Like, people like that will try to like get back down here. You're getting a little too high up there, you know? Come back down.
Confidence kills. Confidence kills on both sides of the table. It kills your inner demons, but it also starts to kill other people because it burns them up, because they're like, whoa, why is this person so confident? I'm always saying this. I am the most confident person you've ever met and you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like, there's nothing I cannot do. There's nothing that if I put my mind to, I'm better than everyone. And if I'm not, it's only because I ain't started long enough. And it's only a matter of time before I'm better than you. And that's because I'm confident as shit. I had a guy call me, say, hey, you know how to do metal floor or metal framing? I said, yes, sir. I got there. Ladies, I was Googling that shit all night long. Like, how do I do this? But he didn't know. He got there and he goes, oh my God, you're really good. And I go, yeah, right? Confidence. It's because I told myself, I got this. Never doubt yourself. Jenny loves how she one day, I said, how are you not confident in yourself?
I told him, I was like, I don't know how you just talk about yourself like that. And he's like, what do you mean? You don't? I was like,
You should
no.
every day.
And
Every day.
I've been really working on it lately.
Every
Like
day.
once it was exposed to me that I actually did not talk about myself.
Mhm.
It's not that I talk negative about myself, but I also didn't say I'm amazing. I would never say something like I'm better than anybody. Give me
Anyone.
enough time to. I could never. I was like, I would never say that.
And
he's like, why?
but when you put it out there, when I always said, oh, I'm like, okay, my mom always used to say, oh, well, if it's a ball, you know, Mike can pick it up and figure it out. It's confidence that brings me to that level. Now, you want to know where I gained my confidence? By never being told anything positive. I had to be my number one fan from the time I was 6 years old. I had to tell myself, you're going to make it. You're tough. You're going to get through this. There's other people that are in worse situations. Look to your right and look to your left. Someone's always got it worse and not complaining. So why the fuck are you complaining? Show your confidence. And that it's not just the blue shirt going in. It's not just brushing your hair. It is literally telling yourself, I am fucking badass. And I may not be at first. And Denny knows this. I knew wakeboarding. I didn't want to do it at first. You want to know why? It's because I knew it was going to suck me in. Because I know how I am. And I don't like being second. I don't understand second. I don't like and kind of fathom people that shoot for nothing but 100%. If you're not trying to be great in everything you're doing, we don't sit on the same wave level. It doesn't happen, but it all starts with confidence from everything. And it comes from, I literally can go out in the middle of the street wearing the weirdest clothes in the world, but feel the strongest, better than the person wearing that tight suit that is all primped and clean, and they feel like shit on the inside. Yet I'm the one looking like a crazy man, but I am so confident that I can make it through anything. And if you're confident in yourself, nothing on the outside can get within. If you can feel the talk on the inside, the outside pain can do you no harm. It's very, very simple. It's not, but it is actually an equation. Once you get it, once you figure out your 3.14, okay? Once you figure out pi, once you figure out your equation, it's like
numbers.
Once you figure out your equation, you're unstoppable. And I'm going to tell you, you've seen what we've gone through in the last how many years? Okay? You want to know how we get through most of that? My confidence, me knowing and telling Jenny, we're going to be okay. You got me by your side, and I'm a soldier, and I'm never, ever going to let anyone down. I will die before I let anyone down. I didn't get death before dishonor tattooed on me for no reason. I will not let people down. And that's a heavy burden to carry, but not when you're confident. Pretty freaking easy. It's like a heck of life.
I like when we do hotel warrior hours because Mike comes in and out. Because he's always like right here. He's like, I gotta step in on that one.
Sometimes I've got the words, man.
Oh. All right. Well, I did have a little video of Steve Harvey, but it's already like after 9. So maybe I'll just play it tomorrow. We might just start off. Yeah. Okay, let's watch it because I think it'll round out. It's only 5 minutes, and it'll kind of round out like everything that we have talked about today.
So I've got like 2 parts.
Okay, let's listen to this.
You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Your brain is divided into two halves, positive and negative, good and evil. It don't function on nothing else. Ain't no neutral ground in your brain. It's either positive and good or negative and evil. Each half of your brain has millions of factory workers on each side. You got 1 million factory workers on the positive side. You got 1 million factory workers on the negative side. At the forefront of each one of those factories in your brain is a foreman. You got foreman positive and you got foreman negative. You are in charge. You're the boss of the factory. Guess what? We are how we think. You can't make a world, but you can make your own world. So now, since your brain is in two halves, let me show you how this works. You wake up in the morning and you say, man, I don't feel myself today. I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not a morning person. Foreman negative hears that. He steps to the front. He said, what did you say? You say, I said I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I'm not myself. I'm not a morning person. He says, you got it right away. He said, hey, the boss just woke up and said he's not a morning person. He's having a bad day today, and he ain't feeling himself. Let's get to work. The 1 million factory workers start producing thoughts to justify what you just said. So now guess what? Man, I hate my alarm clock went off this morning. I got to get out here in this traffic. I'm gonna drive down here today. I don't even like these people on my job. I can't stand this car I'm finna get in this morning. Sure wish I had a new car, but I'm driving this ragged ass car. And on and on and on. And your day starts tumbling into what you ordered at the top of the day. You could wake up in the morning and you say, you know what? Today is gonna be a great day today. I expect something really good to happen for me today. He said, what did you say? You say, I said I'm having a great day today. I expect something good to happen today. Foreman positive turns around and goes, all right, let me have your attention. Steve's having a great day today. He's expecting some wonderful things to happen. And man, let's get it going. And they start manufacturing thoughts. Same brain, man, I can't wait to go to work today. It may not be the job I want, but at least I got a job. I'm so grateful I got a car to drive to work today. Hey man, at least I got a check coming in. I appreciate the fact that I don't have a car, but at least I can walk to the train. Man, this is gonna be great today. That's how your mind works 24/7. It never turns off. Change your attitude, you change your altitude.
It all depends on how you look at it. Our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. The way we think they are affects us most. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. As you think, so you become.
Okay, it was super quick. But like, I loved just even that last line, you guys. As you think, you will become. Whatever you say about yourself, serious, joking, whatever, you will become that. And you will consistently become that if that's how you're going to talk about yourself. So if you could become anything, why not become positive? You have the choice to be negative or positive. And if whatever you choose is what's going to happen, why would you ever choose the negative? Why? Why would we ever choose that when so much power is given to either side? Why not give the positive all that power? right? Like if Tennille sat there and said, oh, we're never going to sell our house. We're never going to know where to move. We're never going to get that truck. We're never going to get that fifth wheel. You think she'd be sitting in that freaking gorgeous fifth wheel right now?
Gangsta.
Wouldn't be happening. For real, you guys. You want to know why she's sitting in that right now?
Confidence.
Confidence. She made it happen. Positive affirmations. Coming here, talking to us, saying, guys, I'm struggling, but I'm just going to keep positive. And we said, yep, you keep going. Don't you stop now. Don't you stop now. Keep going.
Don't think for a minute that you're not going to have these bad thoughts, but you're going to be stronger when they do come up. Everyone, you're human. Heck, I get negative. I woke up this morning from a bad dream mad at my wife because I thought she was cheating on me. I couldn't figure it out.
I was like,
Straight up. I was like, what the hell? Everyone has bad thoughts. And if you don't, get off that flower pot because it's stinking in your ass. There's no way you ain't having bad thoughts. Now, what this does is trains you to get rid of them, how to answer them properly instead of going, why me? You go, try me, motherfucker. Let's roll. I'm ready to do this. Now look at them chandelier lights and glistening off of her hair right now. That is a beautiful RV, girl. I'm not jelly. I'm just ready for you to come down and visit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wouldn't have happened if, and I guarantee you and Dwayne probably had a couple nights where you're like, fuck, man, are we doing the right thing? We're crazy. You're nuts. You're still going to have them 8 months from now because problems never fucking stop.
cool it on the F-bomb.
Problems never effing stop, okay? Problems are going to come up every day, and if they're not, it's because you're not out there taking risks. You're not out there trying stuff. You're not out there doing things. You're not out there diving deep into the darkness, okay? Get out there. Who's that? Corey.
I think that's her husband.
What's up, dude? What
He's
you
all
cooking, bro?
fellow man.
I know. I can smell masculinity anyway. I think rap.
He's like, I'm out.
She's like, that guy's got way too much energy.
Oh, you guys. You know what? I even love that we just even brought up Tennille. Like, you guys, Tennille, it's not like you didn't question it, right? It's not like you didn't say, are we doing the right thing? And still probably even question it or like, man, we're doing this thing, right? But you're on that path. You're on that path, and now you ain't getting down. You aren't going back. Forward is your only option. And the only way to move forward, stay positive, stay confident, and be open to be a little uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing, you guys. Being open to being a little uncomfortable. It was a little uncomfortable to speak up to my friend Trisha. It was a little uncomfortable to speak up to an 11-year-old girl I didn't know, see me in front of her family. I was willing to be a little uncomfortable to speak up and do what I knew was right. Okay? Tennille is willing to be a little uncomfortable to create the life that she knows that her and her husband and family are supposed to be living. Be willing to step up and be a little uncomfortable, you guys. Because that's where the magic happens. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now had I not been a little uncomfortable a few days ago.
Yeah. That's one thing about Mike is I live in that uncomfortable zone. That's where I live. I love that shit. When I get into that comfort zone, when I get in that comfort zone, I gain weight. I don't get off the couch. I don't work out. I don't do anything positive. When I get out there in that funky zone where I like to live and I like to be, I'm who I am. I'm out there helping people. I'm not second guessing things. None of that. Don't be sheep. Be a fucking wolf. Get out there and lead the pack. All right, last F-bomb.
All right.
We got to get going though.
Yeah, we do have to get going. We got to pick up our keys at 10. We're signing our new lease and getting our house at 10. So keep an eye out. I'll post some stuff on my stories or something. So come check it out.
I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys always understand where my heart is coming from. It's a place of passion, but it's a passion for pure positivity and to make you guys come to the next level. So I hope you guys always understand where I'm coming from. I think you guys do. But I just wanted to reiterate it and talk about it again so you guys really, truly understood all of it. Okay? Whew, I got like the shakes a little bit, little goosebumps. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Where are your clothes? We're supposed to be leaving. Put your clothes on, dude. All right, guys. I love you guys. Have a great day, okay? Bye. Bye.